Hi, hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Skye and today we're doing another episode of makeup I want but I'm not gonna buy. This is basically an anti-haul of things that I actually really do want, but I'm trying to be good and remind myself that you do not need all the releases, Skye. Calm down. Some of these releases are new, some are old, but anyways, let's get started. I've got my tea with me, so let's get started. Also, I really hate to be that bitch, but I just have to have a moment of appreciation for this eyeliner moment. Look, this side's cracked, don't mind it, but look! Little cherries! I spent way too long on this eyeliner for y'all to not see it, so there you go. Let's start out with this one. These are the Patrick Tar Beauty Major Sculpt collection, I think it's called. They're basically bronzer duos with a cream and a powder, and I want to try Patrick Tar Beauty so fucking bad. I love the aesthetic. The blush duos call my name profusely. Those are beautiful. I feel like I will buy those eventually sometime this year. Not yet though. And these bronzers just look beautiful. I like the lightest shade. That would definitely work for me. I do love a subtle bronzer, but here's the thing. I don't use cream bronzer. The only cream, like, cheek product that I use is cream blush. I'm actually wearing a cream blush today. So even though these are beautiful, and as much as I really want them, because I hear the Patrick Tar formula, the powder formulas, are just so silky and smooth and beautiful and luxurious to work with. Why would I buy a duo if I'm not going to use one half of it? It's extremely rare that bronzer releases call my name because I own two bronzers in my collection. One glowy, one matte. I don't like having that many bronzers. I just simply could not give less of a shit about bronzer. If you own some Patrick Tar products, let me know what your thoughts are down below because I am so curious about them. Alright, a few blush releases. This first one, these are the Melt, what are they called? Cream blush lights. Most of these are like that peachy color and I fucking adore peachy blush, like peachy pink blush, just it's so stunning. And I do love a cream blush as well. I own two of them. Let me show you them actually. I own the two Fenty cream blushes right here. I've got Daquiri Dip, which I'm wearing on my cheeks today, and Strawberry Drip. I love the formula of these. They work beautifully over powdered skin. However, I don't want to buy from Melt. That's the thing that's stopping me. Not only, also I have a lot of blush. I don't need any more. But Melt isn't a brand that I want to support anymore because they let me tell you why they piss me off real quick. Their prices are too fucking expensive for how inconsistent they are. I have tried so many Melt palettes. All of them have different formulas. And most of them were shitty. And also the Melt brand owners partied in a pandemic right when it was really, really bad in LA. They posted it to their personal social media. They quickly deleted the posts since they realized, oh shit, we probably shouldn't be doing this. So not many people know, but I fucking saw it. I've got no time or energy for people that just disregard a global pandemic. Like, truly, get fucked. This is just off topic, like, we're meant to be talking about makeup, but genuinely, pisses me off. Get fucked. Fuck you, Melt. The next blush release we're gonna be talking about, this one, I want this so bad, but like I mentioned, I don't need any more blush, and because this brand is US based, I don't really want to pay shipping and customs for one blush, but these are the Lois Cosmetics, like, ombre blushes. I don't know the exact name, but these ones right here, they have the beautiful imprint, the beautiful ombre, that bright orange in the top center, and the bottom center one, that, like, neutrally pink. Ooh. And I do really enjoy the clear plastic packaging because also these are fairly reasonably priced. I don't remember the price off the top of my head, but I'll put it right here. I want these so bad, like the orange one especially, like I want it, but I'm not gonna pay shipping and customs for one blush. It just doesn't make sense. But I'm looking out for Lois Cosmetics. I'm looking out for them because this blush release, fucking cute. So cute. I love this release so much. The final blush release we're going to be talking about is from Pat McGrath, and these are her Divine Rose blushes. Something. Again, the imprint, the embossing is so damn beautiful. Now, I'm not a Pat McGrath stan. Pat McGrath is one of those brands that I just don't really care for that much, mainly because of the price point, but also, like, her color stories don't really call to me, but you know I'm a fucking hoe for blushes. I mean, look, and the packaging is so luxurious and extravagant, just like Pat McGrath normally is, although I do have a Pat McGrath product. This is the only Pat McGrath thing I've ever owned. This is the Dare to Bear lip gloss, and I got this from my friend Terra, because these are her favourite glosses and she had an extra, so she sent it to me. Like a sweet angel she is. But yeah, Pat McGrath pricing is just a bit too high for me. I'm not too sure how much these blushes will be, but I'm assuming quite expensive. And also the packaging is really nice, but I feel like it's slightly too chunky to fit in my organizers. This organizer is where I store all of my single blushes and single compacts, and if something's too thick, then it can't fit in here. And I feel like this blush will be slightly too big to fit in this container. And also this container of mine is filled up. The only reason why there's a few gaps in here is because those products are in my stash drawer. And I've kind of made a promise to myself that if it won't fit in my organizers or my drawers, then I can't have it. And this will not fit in the drawers. So I can't have it. All right, now we're gonna be talking about some eyeshadow palettes. Now this palette, it hits me in my childhood. It's the Colourpop Lizzie McGuire palette. I loved Lizzie McGuire when I was a kid. I was born in the early 2000s, but I still grew up with Lizzie McGuire. Iconic show. Oh my god, I love it so much. I need to rewatch it. I don't know where to rewatch it though. To me, this colour story does scream Lizzie McGuire to me. I really love the greens, the peachy pinks, the purples as well. I will say, not a big fan that it's very light. I feel like we could have had a bit more depth in here, like that purple could have been a bit darker, but the outer packaging and the fact that there's a little cartoon Lizzie on the inside, I love it so much. It's really pretty. However, that second shade called Pearlise, I love the shade names in this so much, that's a pressed glitter, and a lot of the mattes in here are glittery mattes from Colourpop, and nah, fuck that. And also I've made it pretty well known that I don't like to support Colourpop. Mia's Virtual Vanity did a very fantastic video on why. I'll link her video down below because she basically touches on all the reasons why I don't like Colourpop anymore. Also, Colourpop is not really an affordable brand to me because I live in the UK. Shipping and customs makes Colourpop pretty damn expensive for me, so I just can't justify it. If I had it in my collection, I'd love it, but I feel like I could dupe this pretty damn easily. The next palette is from Game Beauty, and this is the Fantasy palette. Damn, Game Beauty is one of those brands I really want to try. Their theming, their packaging, their color stories, everything screams to me, I'm a gamer myself. That sounds really cringy. I hate that. I love the color story in here. It's pastels, it's blues, although I will say, the more I look at this palette, the more like things I can pick out that I don't really like about it. For an example, there are two metallic blues. One of them is kind of speckled, the Mana shade. But those two blues I feel like would look pretty damn similar on your lid, and I don't really like dark shimmers on myself personally. The shade Buff, which is right next to Mana, that lighter blue shimmer, it looks a bit more like a satin, and y'all know, don't like satins. Satins can get fucked. No. Absolutely not. If the shimmers were lighter and different shades, then I think I'd be super into this palette. I still really want it. Like, part of me is like, this is so pretty, but those shimmers kind of kill it for me a little bit. And also I've seen people use this palette and the pastels in here, like the yellow especially, and the orange and the pink, those look really sheer on the lids, and I know myself, I know that I would hate that because I find that you can make a really good pastel formula. Like, I think the best pastel formula, like pastel palette, is the Shroud Creepy Cute palette. Like, that is a fantastic formula, best pastels I've ever used. Because I feel like pastels get a bad reputation for being dusty, but it's because, like, you're not making pastels right. Like, pastels can be done very, very well, but, like, stop making them dusty, man. But yeah, even though this palette has some flaws to me, it is aesthetically very beautiful, but it's not something that I should buy. Speaking of pastels, this next palette is the Clarity Cosmetics So Mermazing palette. This is gorgeous. I love this color story. It's not quite a pastel rainbow palette, which I do appreciate because I have such a disdain for rainbow palettes now. I love the complementary mattes and shimmers. Those are stunning. Although I will say I've seen a few people get this palette and the matte formula is just Specifically, I watched Millie Bad to the Brows video. She did a really good video on this palette, and the shimmers look beautiful, but I could easily just buy singles of those shades that I really want. And the matte formula, according to Millie, was just not up to par. Because in my opinion, it's easier to work with a shitty shimmer shade than a shitty matte. If a matte is shitty, the look's shitty to me. This palette I'm so torn on. I really want this, I want to love it, and I do still really enjoy it, but it's just, something is not quite there for me. This is the Muse Beauty Rococo palette. Now, those bottom two rows, like the bottom two rows, fuck yes. However, the top right of the palette, where it has that little quad of neutrals, Triumph and, I can't say that word, Apotheosis? Those two golds look very similar. Like, did we really need those two? I feel like if one of those golds was a turquoise shimmer, then I'd be all over this palette. But I like the colour story altogether, but I don't know if I like it enough to, like, have it in my collection, you know what I'm saying? And I really want to try Muse Beauty, like I desperately want to try them, but I feel like seeing this palette next to their Impressionism palette, it's making me want Impressionism more. I feel like if you mix Rococo with Impressionism, like smush them together, I feel like I would definitely buy that. It's just the neutrals in this palette that's a bit throwing me off a little bit. Alright, the next palette and the newest one on this list is the Natasha Denona Zendo palette. Now I actually, hang on, let me get her out. I actually own the Natasha Denona Love palette, and this palette is one of my favorites in my collection. I fucking love pinks. The formula in here is top notch. I love the mattes especially. The shimmers are also pretty damn good. It's a really solid palette, and I love this size from Natasha Denona. It's the perfect size in my opinion, and the pan sizes are not too big, because in her, like, what is it, 111 pound palettes, those ones have big fuck off pans, and I don't want that much product, dude. Like, it takes long enough for me to pan an eyeshadow, let alone a big pan. So I love the size of this palette. I really love this colour story. However, I feel like, I've seen a lot of people say this is kind of like a mix of a bunch of Natasha Denona palettes all in one, so I feel like if you didn't own any Natasha Denona palettes, this would be a good addition. Now bear in mind I only own the Love, so I do technically own those like pinky shades. However, this palette is £60, and while I do love it, I don't think I would get enough use out of it to warrant the price tag. Like, the Love palette, I've definitely gotten my use out of it, and to be fair, this was a gift from a friend, but I have definitely gotten my money's worth out of that one. But this one, as beautiful as it is, I don't think I would, especially because it does have a few darker shimmers, and I'm not a big fan of darker shimmers, as y'all know. But this is definitely a very good release for Natasha Denona. I really enjoy it a lot. I feel like in these videos, there's always one release that I talk about that I'm like, why the fuck do I like this? But all of the ones I'm talking about today, like, I'm just like, yeah, these are actually quite nice. I'm a lot more positive in this one. This palette is kind of on my wish list. This is the Lois Cosmetics Meet Me in the Underworld palette. The theming, top notch. Packaging, stunning. Colour story, beautiful. It's this grungy kind of like caca colour story, and I do love my caca colour stories, I must admit. Lois Cosmetics are also a UK based indie brand, and I live in the UK. We don't have that many UK based indie brands, so anytime one pops up I'm like, hello? A couple of my mates actually bought this palette, so I'm gonna wait for them to let me know their thoughts on it. I feel like this is a release on this list that I can actually see myself buying after this video. Maybe I should do that. I should do a video saying, like, makeup I anti-hauled that I actually bought, because I have a few things, actually. And the final release we're gonna be talking about, this one's a little bit... I've got beef with this one. I'm gonna just say it. This is the Adept Plain Jane palette. Now, I did mention that this was in my wishlist video, and I love the color story of this one. It's an all shimmer palette with Adept's like really fun like squidgy formula. That's not the word, Skye. Squidgy. It's got all the tones that I love wearing on my eyes. The purples, the pinks, the greens. Ooh, how motherfucking ever. Adept is a brand that I want to try so bad, but I feel like they don't want me. Adept have mentioned that they are discontinuing this palette. They're gonna have one more restock, like one more pre-order, and then it's gone forever. Which, I'm a little bit sad because, I mean, this is their best seller. This is the palette that they are known for, and it's been out for like only a year, and you're already discontinuing it. I know they said they are reformulating and they're looking to try like a new formula for the brand, but like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, dude. I mean, I don't know anything about makeup business, in all honesty. I'm not really one to talk. But along with them discontinuing it, this palette is a bit more expensive, which I think it's like £45 or something. It's up there. It's quite expensive, but I think for what you're getting, I understand the price. What I don't fucking understand is their shipping price. Now, Adept does ship internationally, however, their shipping costs, it's daylight robbery. Like, they are stealing from me. I believe last time I checked, their shipping to the UK was £32 or £35, in the 30s. What the fuck? And Adept doesn't offer cheaper shipping, and they have mentioned it's because they're not that popular internationally, and on the website, like they mentioned in their Q&A, on like people, international customers don't really look around on their website. But here's the thing, Adept discontinued like pretty much everything. They discontinued all their singles. The only things you can see on their website are the custom palettes, which I mean, a little bit boring, but a necessity. Plain Jane and Hydra. Like, they completely removed all of their singles because they are reformulating, but like, so no wonder why international customers don't really look around on your website, because there's butt fuck there. And also, because we all know that international shipping is like ridiculously expensive, I think I remember one of my mates said they live in Australia, and they looked on the website and they said shipping to Australia is $60. That's the price of a Natasha Denona palette. I feel like if Adept just offered cheaper shipping, even though it might cost them more in the long run, more people want to try them, because I'm telling you, so many of my international friends, we want to try Adept so bad, and when the brand owner did a Q&A on their stories, I don't know, man, maybe they worded it incorrectly, but the way that they were talking about it made it seem like they didn't really care that much about international customers and we were unsure. They might not have meant that, but it kind of came across that way. But yeah, I'm a little bit sad that I'm never going to be able to get Plain Jane, although it's Adept Cosmetics, they have the Break the Rules palette, and that is a £9 palette, significantly cheaper, and international shipping is a lot cheaper, so I'ma just go for that one instead. And here's the thing, this is no shade to Adept at all. I know that shipping internationally is expensive. I've shipped stuff to the US, like to friends and stuff. Shit's expensive, but it's not that expensive. But anyways, that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Do let me know what are some releases that you really want but you're not gonna buy. I would love to know. If you'd like to see more makeup content from me, then follow me on my Instagram. It's beautyybyskye right here. I post all of my looks there and I'm active on there every single day. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I would love to have you here, and as always, stay safe, wash your hands, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!